Students' common mistakes are as follows. First, they tape the compass without comparing the directions in the sheet and compass. The correct way is to align the directions in the compass with those in the direction sheet. Another mistake is that students rotate the compass only while keeping the direction sheet in place. However, the compass and direction sheet should be moved together. Rotate them until the compass needle coincides with north. Then stick the end of the thread to the end of the shadow. Do not pull the thread too much until it reaches a point beyond the shadow. Doing so will tilt the whole experimental setup, leaving the direction sheet unleveled. So after checking the direction sheet's orientation, straighten the thread without pulling it tight. Then stick it onto the table. Next, measure the angle of elevation using a protractor. Usually, students would not know where to measure. They measure whatever angle they see. Sometimes they measure here. They would think that they should measure the angle here. As a result, they always get 90 degrees. Or they might think angle of elevation and confuse it with moon observation. They would think that they probably should measure the top of the straw. So this is what they do. Measure it this way. Then observe this angle. These are incorrect. We should measure this side. This is the shadow's angle of elevation. Next, we will measure the length of the shadow using a ruler. What students usually do is to put the edge of the ruler to the rim of the balloon holder. Align the ruler with the shadow and measure all the way to the end of the thread. However, such length is inaccurate. The correct way is to take the balloon holder off and draw a line from the center of the balloon straw to the edge of the thread. The line drawn that way corresponds to the correct length of the stick's shadow. Sometimes, students attach a protractor without minding the markings on it. However, the markings should be oriented correctly to allow for accurate measurements. Let us pay close attention to how the values are arranged in this protractor. Notice that the tick marks start with 0, then 10, 20, 30, and then 40 degrees. If students tape it the wrong way, it will look like this. We can see that it starts from 100 degrees, then 110, 120, 130, and 140 degrees. The numbers in red are also incorrect. It decreases from 90 degrees to 80, 70, 60, and so on. Hence, we have to be mindful when taping the protractor, or the angle readings will be wrong. Next, let us discuss the proper way of attaching the straw. It must be straight and parallel to the carton. Sometimes, students would tape as fast as they can and not be cautious of the straw's orientation. If this happens, they might only see a black spot and not a hollow circle. After correcting the sun observer's orientation, students usually move the protractor fast, making it difficult for them to find the desired spot. Therefore, please remind students not to move the sun observer after it is positioned correctly. Then slowly move the straw. If done this way, we will see the hollow spot here. The angle is about 35 degrees.